out there. A new world, a new world, a new world. All right. So in this new world, so thank you all for being here. I have a volunteer. Thank you for raising your hand. Thank you, Mansi. All right. So I have got here a shuffle deck of cards, and I'm sharing with you. I will shuffle the cards, and I'd say fair choice. I'd open the cards out and hold them for you to choose one. So would you take that? Would you take any card, Mansi? Just reach out and take one card. Excellent, thank you. You've got one card with you, is that correct? Awesome. I've got the deck here. Would you hold that card between the palm? That's right, between the palm, between both your hands. That's awesome. Just keep it there for a while, and that's great. I shuffle the deck of cards. This is 52 cards with one card out, and so far there's really nothing happening. There's one card that's gone out. I've got 52 cards here, and these would be real cards when I would be doing it. I'm just sharing with you what I would do. And Mansi is holding the card there, right? And I make sure she holds it for a while. I'll talk a little and you know the rest of it. And then I'll hold this back and I'm holding the deck out and say, Mansi, put the card anywhere you want.
Sanjay, can you look the other side? Mansi, can you show us the card?
So Mansi, wait, before you put it, you do remember the card, right? You've got it in your mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't forget that. You remember that card? That's great. All right, so put that in any way you want. That's awesome, that's terrific. Now, would you take the whole deck of cards? You see how, I mean, she's taken the deck of cards, and now Mansi, would you shuffle the deck? Awesome, that's great. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and give it back to gallery for you, so you get to see me and Mansi. Mansi, can you shuffle the deck, please? So shuffle the deck. That's awesome. Wow. Do you know any other shuffles?
Yeah.
Mansi, that one.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Big one.
So that's great, Mansi. So now, would you give me back the deck? The whole deck. Thank you. Thank you. Hey. Mansi, that's cheating. You kept the card back there, or it's in here?
Everything is there.
Everything is here. 52 cards. All right. So I can shuffle the deck. Now this is exactly what I used to do with a real deck, right? The way I would do this is when I would shuffle the deck is, because Mansi had held the card for a good, minute or so, the card is still warm. So I could actually go through the deck and I could feel a card that was warmer than the others. I would then at that place cut the cards so that I had the warm card on top, and I knew that was the card just by feeling. I would then palm the card on top and have the rest of the deck, and I would flip the deck over and put the card now on the other side, and then cut the deck and put it in so that Mansi's card was now upside down in that deck. I never needed to see the deck. I could feel it, so I could look into your eyes, and over here the entire trick would get done. And I would hold it out and open it and show you all the cards face up with one card that was face down. For the first time, I'd ask Mansi, name your card.
Want me to name my card?
Yeah?
Queen of Hearts.
It was a Queen of Hearts. Now see, out of the entire deck, there's just one queen who would pick the Queen of Hearts. That card that was over, I would take that out and flip it over, and there was a Queen of Hearts. And that's how we used to do it. Yeah? But now, everything's changed. Everything's changed. I can't do that trick anymore. Now what I have to do is I have to say, it was day before yesterday that I was thinking, how do I actually change this post-COVID? So I have here a deck of cards that I showed you earlier that's been lying in my pocket. Yeah? The deck I open for the first time and pull the cards out. Pull the cards out. And here are cards with... So I'm just going to stand up here so that you can see, and I want to make sure I don't get the reflection, right? So I'm just going to show you the deck that I've been playing with. Yeah, and I have been playing with this basically to make sure that I get a reflect. Are you getting a reflection, or can you see the deck?
A little bit of a reflection.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to find the place where you. Are you? Can you see? Can you see the cards?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Can you see the cards?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's one card
Yes.
that is turned over, right? Now this I was thinking about yesterday, and I said, what is the card that Mansi would pick? And so there's one card. Let me just pick that card off. And it was very close, was it not?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good enough.
I mean, it was very close. So
Good enough.
close enough, close enough, close enough to get an applause. For, I said to do this across the internet. Thank you. The next one that I'm going to present for you is something where I've got to share my phone with you. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen homepage?
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Awesome. Awesome. Mitul, Sabina, can you see the screen? Yeah, awesome. So it's there. So I'd like to share a photograph of friends of mine when I was last performing, and this was just before the lockdown. This was in Delhi. I need a volunteer. Sandeep, can I volunteer your awesome?
Yeah.
So Sandeep, you can see a number of people there. Is that a fair comment, right?
Yeah.
How many people would you say are there in the picture?
About 10?
All right, that's good. And do you have a favorite person in your life?
Sitting right next to me.
Oh, I would have thought so. I would have thought so. All right. I meant if you picked a favorite person in that room, what would the person be wearing?
The one with the red jacket.
All right.
A
Okay.
bright red.
All right.
Bright red.
That's fine. That's fine. Now, if I was sorry, before I proceed, Sandeep, have you ever seen this photograph before?
No.
Okay, awesome. Now tell me, I've never shared this picture with you. I've never told you about where it was, what was happening. Is that correct?
Correct.
I want you to think about this and tell me what time this was taken. And I want you to tell me to the nearest minute. So not the nearest 10 minutes, not the nearest 5 minutes, but to the nearest minute that you think that this photograph was taken. Yeah?
10:27.
10:27. That is an amazing guess. Yeah. I'm going to now actually zoom in to expand the photograph. And try and go to this lady's phone to see what. Now, can you see the time on her watch?
10:25. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was an amazing implant of a thought, and that was very good, Sandeep. Thank you. Yeah.
How did I get it off by 2 minutes though?
That's called latency. In internet, that's called latency. Yeah, that can happen in transferring thoughts as well. So you really bang on.
So what with the lady in the red then?
And so, depending on where the wavelength is,
She was the red herring.
there you go.
It's too funny.
Good man. So the next one that I'm going to do is a very challenging one, but it resides in where mentalism as a art form started with the earliest experiments done at Stanford. And to do that, I require a volunteer, and I'm seeing whose hands. So, Mikul, I'm going to send you a link of a website that I'll just share with you guys. So an SMS message out to Mitul.
It's called transmitesp.com.
That's right. Have you gone in there?
I'm in that app now. I'm in
All
that.
right. You are at the site?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the rest of you, I mean, as you've heard, it's transmitesp.com. Yeah, and you can go to the site. This is a site that's been put together as you. Now, I'm wondering if I should share the site with you. I don't think we lose anything there. So let me share the website with you, so that the rest of you can actually see. So it's JB Ryan who did this. He's a parapsychologist. In fact, parapsychology for the first time came up with JB Ryan, and they were trying this experiment to get people to think about one of these elements, and they would transmit this. And what they found was it's not just thinking of the element, but it was how you thought about the element. So this site actually helps you to think about the element in a particular way. So for example, suppose you thought of the circle, then as you go down, then if you go to the circle, it actually tells you how you concentrate on the circle to be able to actually make that transition happen. So what I'm going to ask you to do, Mitul, Sabina, you're doing it? All right, Sabina, is to think of one of those shapes. Don't tell anyone, don't announce it. Just in your mind, think of the shape.
Yeah.
And will you go down and take a look at that particular shape?
Yeah.
And just read in your mind what it says.
Okay.
Once you've finished, you've gone there, go back to the top so that I know you've finished and you tell me you've finished. Are you back at the top with the 5 of them on top?
I am. Yes.
Right. So you've gone to the place, the numbers that you thought of, and you read what it says there, and you are now thinking of it, thinking of that picture in that way. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm sort of getting a sense that you're thinking of something that changes, something that's variable. There's a variability, there's change. Yeah, there's something about a flow, you know. I mean, it's possibly I'm getting a sense that it may be waves.
Spot on. Absolutely. 100.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that once again. I should actually cut this while I'm ahead. Mitul. So take a look. Choose one of those. Now read what it says to the image that you have seen. Read it. Understand it. That's the way you're going to transmit it to me. Is that fine? And when you've then finished and understood that, go back to the top and tell me you're ready to transmit.
Okay, I'm ready to transmit.
Okay, that's great. So I now want you to focus and start thinking of that image. See, just the image is abstract, but I want you to think of the things that you read about that image, because that's how the transmission is a lot easier. I'm sensing heat. I'm sensing lots of energy. I'm sensing heat, I'm sensing energy, I'm sensing, you know, illumination, radiance, brightness. You know, it's like a burst of energy, fireworks. I'm getting a starburst, star. Would it be a star?
That is brilliant.
Awesome. Thank you,
You know,
guys.
Vaishali got it as well.
Thank you, guys.
It is amazing.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to some mind games. There's predictions. There's transfer of thoughts. There's implanting thoughts. There's everything that, you know, the mind is capable of. The other thing that I've been working on is one that that is on memory. Sometime in that March, April sort of period, when Pushpita got herself very interested in a game called crosswords, or, you know, I mean, that game that that you choose and you get you know, all the words. You got to go diagonally.
Word search.
Word search. Yeah, word search. Thank you. You obviously played, Vaishali. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. What I'm going to do is I've got a word search there. I'm going to, so let me put word search on. So now, you know, what I'm going to do is, there's no trick here. There's just a demonstration of memory. I'm going to try and memorize the entire game. Then I'm going to blindfold myself, and I've got a blindfold here. I'm going to blindfold myself so that I can't see the screen. And then I will try and recall the entire screen. And you're going to call out the words that are at the bottom of that, and I'm going to try and remember where those words were and reproduce that. All right? Wow. Helping me through this is Pushpita, who will actually see that what I say and find that word. There she is, right? So she's going to come into the screen. Why don't you come in so that you're here? All right. So now the point is, I can choose. So Vaishali, given that you play this game, you know, I may have memorized this game, and there may be a trick. I can actually take a new game, and that's a new one. So I'll go new again, and you tell me to stop where you're happy, and we'll play the game that you want. So here's a new one. That's another one. And so say stop anywhere, and we'll stop and play that one.
Stop.
All right, so we'll play this one. Yeah, the only difference between medium hard is that hard has got more words. I may not go through all the words. The idea is to demonstrate a few of them. Yeah, I'm going to hand this phone over to Pushpita. So why don't you keep the phone in the picture so they can see the phone. The phone is in the picture. So just give me a tick, and I haven't started for a moment. And let me just take that in. So there is ABANKDDVEDRIIXJ.
That's quite amazing how hard it can work.
Okay. So now people do this as photographic memory of a page or whatever. And look, I know I'm amongst friends, and if this doesn't work, that's fine. So I know that's.
Repeat is the hardest.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody call out one of the words that are at the bottom of that.
Compete.
Page. Sorry, say that again.
Compete.
Sorry, I didn't follow. Push, can you tell me what the word?
Compete.
Compete. Compete is a word there. Yes. Compete. There's an A at the top there, and there's an R at the top there, and there's compete. I'm looking for that C. I'm looking for the C. So I'm thinking that it's if you go third column and you go down to seventh row, I see a C there, and that goes down. That goes, I think it goes upwards. It goes upwards to the right. Yeah. So if that's correct, is that anywhere? Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow.
Give me another word.
Twisted.
Sorry.
Twisted.
Twisted. Okay. Twisted. Yes, I see that. That's fourth column and seventh row. Is that where the T is?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a T there, and I'm looking for. That's again. It's going right, and it's going upwards.
Yep.
It's going upwards diagonally.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I think that demonstrates the. I mean, if I played with that, I could crack that. Yeah. So is that
Great.
awesome?
Yay.
Thank you, guys. Let me
Well done. That was
get
amazing.
back. Let me get
Yeah.
back.
How did you do that?
I think I need.
Remember
I think I need.
You need a sip of that wine.
I need a sip of the magic potion to
Yes.
make this. Here's what I found. The next one is a book test. Again, a book test is one that has been done by many a performer. It's been done on stage. I used to do it with the entire set of Encyclopedia Britannica. And it is a stage performance because obviously you've got, 45 volumes of this massive book. To actually rewrite this and do it in an environment for Zoom. Does everyone have a book? Would you show me? Would you show me a book? Everyone has a book. That's awesome. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick and choose, or the first person that raises their hand. Anybody raise your hand? All right, Neha, I've got you raising your hand first. So Neha, would you open that book on any page? So hold the book so that people can see it. People can see the book. Can you hold the book a little higher, please? That's great. So you've opened the book, your page. Yeah. Sabina, I saw your hand go up. Would you choose? No. Would you choose the left side of the book or the right side of the book for Neha?
I've got a notebook, not an actual.
No. I just want you to say left or right.
Left.
Left. So Neha, would you look at the page on your left? The page on your left, yeah? Now, Sang, would you choose the upper half of the page or the lower half of the page? No, you don't have to look at your book. Just say upper half or lower half.
Yeah, okay, upper half.
Thank you. So what you're doing now, Neha, is you're looking at the left side, the upper half of the page, yeah? What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think of, from there, I'd like you to choose a small word, a 4-letter word, yeah? Speak to me and tell me if you've got that in your mind. Yes? You have it in your mind? You can close that book and you can put it away. Yeah, what I'd like you all to note that here above on the fridge, I've actually put a prediction. I have here a post-it note where when I was actually posting and thinking and preparing for this, there were three things that I actually worked through and said I'd have to predict. And one of them was a 4-letter word. Yeah. So here is a group selection of a 4-letter word that has been selected and chosen, and the difficult work has already been done. So for the first time, would you tell me, Neha, and everyone here, what is the word that you have in your mind?
Done.
Sorry, say that again.
Done.
Sorry, say that again.
Done.
Done.
D-O-N-E.
Done. D-O-N-E. Done.
Done.
I for a moment heard dusk, and I said, oops, that's not something that I had put out there. So thank you. That's much closer to what I was hoping would be said. I'm going to spotlight myself so that you all can see this, and I hope I don't lose. Is that everyone seeing me? Now, here was a word that was chosen, selected at random. I had the group choose it. You've seen that post-it note has stayed there. I don't know if you noticed it all through the evening. And therein lies, I'm going to reach out and grab for the note. And you can see that here is the note. And I'm going to bring it and hope you all can see what's written on it. I'm going to try and remove the glare.
Whoa! Amazing.
Okay. The ultimate book test.
Very nice. Very interesting.
That is very impressive. Very impressive.
I'm going to wind up for the last one for the evening. And I'm going to wind up with, let me put on a green screen back and show you a green screen.
Very impressive.
Okay. So you can see that you'll enjoy this if you actually use your camera, and if you can, put your just take a camera and just let me move out of the way. If you actually just took a photograph of that, your camera will take you to a website. So I'm going to try, and I've already tried to predict a choice that you possibly are going to exercise. Now, in the days before COVID, I could actually have a deck of cards and have, you pick a card, and I could then do all sorts of manipulation with that. In this case, I've got to do it a little differently, and I'm going to try and predict a card that you are going to pick. So Sunil and you can't see the screen. All right, so you guys are going to enjoy it. Sunil and Neha, I know you can't see the screen, but I'm going to have you choose a card. Sunil and Neha, can you see me? That's awesome. Yeah. And can you see that I've got an ordinary deck of cards with, yeah. So you've got a number of, you can see the deck. That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is, now I can have you pick a card, but it's going to be difficult for you to reach out and pick one. But I want this a fair pick. So if I ask you to give me a number, give me a number between 1 and 52, and I count out the cards, would that be a fair pick? What does everyone say? That's a fair pick?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I have actually predicted the card that you're going to pick, but you're going to pick it now. So Sunil, as I say go, I want you to call a number. Don't make it too hard. Don't make it too far. Make it somewhere in the middle of the deck. All right, Sunil, tell me a number between
13.
15?
13.
13. 13. 13 is what he picked. The deck is in front of you. I'm going to count off 13 cards, right? I'm going to stand up for this. So now there may be latency, so I won't count it loud. You please count and make sure that I'm putting 13 cards down, right? So I'm going to go.
Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Have I got
13.
13 cards down?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the next card is what I'm going to pick. Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Which card, is that neat enough?
Yep.
All right. I'd like you to take a look at my prediction of what it says on your phone. What is the card that it says that Sunil has picked? So does anyone want to announce the card of the picture there?
Yes. Queen of Spades. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
amazing.
All right. So guys, that closes the evening.
Amazing.
And if you move down on the website, there is a donate button there. You can click donate. That takes you to be able to give whatever you think is appropriate. If anybody is putting in over $100, I will perform for you on your next Zoom call with your family, with your friends, or with your colleagues in an office setting for an amazing, whatever time that you want for that to be done, so that everyone can have fun and support the arts and make the world go round. Thank you guys for an
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, Sanjay. That was very good.
Worked well. Thank you.
Very impressive.
That was very good. Yeah,
Where
very
did you come
impressive.
from?
Meeting. You know.
Thanks.
Where did you come
And all,
All
the
the
very
best.
best.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Great job, Sanjay.
Very well done. Very, very well done. Thank you. We shall see. We shall know.